this is strange,
Hmm.
but I'm really dubious about channel.
Oh, completely, 100%. I
Because
don't put any weight in it. I just thought I'd
yeah,
mention it because it's just incredibly relevant. The stuff that comes out.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's quite bizarre because I do know that we're channeling all the time.
Mm.
I mean, if you're I try to sort of go about creativity anyway, at the very least. As a kind of a tube, a hollow tube.
Yeah.
So if I'm singing to an audience, I just allow the song to come through me and out of me, and it's the only way to get myself out of the way. Otherwise, I would be stood there worrying about whether or not anyone liked it,
Yeah.
which is, just defeating the object. And
Absolutely.
the whole point is to give your creativity away, your talents and gifts away. It comes through you because it can use you for what you've got, your voice, whatever it happens to be, your talent in whatever area of your life, and then you just pass it through. So I kind of step aside when I'm doing certain things. I think when I'm writing I do that too, because when I read back some of the things that I've written, because I write little bits before each chapter of my books,
Right.
and I read back some of that and I think, how the hell did I come out with that? I was using words I had to look up.
That's wild.
I know, and it's weird because it's like I slip into this sort of very polite old English type thing, and I'm so sure that I'm very connected to that. My daughter, she always used to say to me when she was really tiny, and she's 8 now. This is when she, was, I guess about 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
She used to say, "Are we going to do this in the morrow?"
Really?
Right? Yeah, and I
Oh.
didn't know then that that's what they used to say before tomorrow. It was
Exactly.
in the morrow. The morrow was the next day. And so, yeah, it's quite fascinating. But I kind of got this theory about all of that.
Yeah.
I don't think that we've had past lives and that we'll have future lives. I think we're living all of our lives we ever could have lived all at the same time. And that what we're doing is we're kind of pulling in things from different lifetimes all the time and kind of back and forth sharing all the time.
Yeah.
And it's part of, we're evolving in all our lifetimes that we've ever had.
Well, if you think about it, that makes sense. But it also says that reincarnation fits in with that, because if you think about time being part of it, because we think about reincarnation, the second you think about that, you see it as a linear time thing. You live a life, you die, you come back, you're born, you die, and it plays over again. But taking linear time out of the equation, then it is all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
It doesn't discredit reincarnation at the same time.
That's right.
So it all works.
But people, like if you say that to people who are real strong believers in reincarnation, but they're looking at it from a linear perspective, they're like, oh, no, but that can't be the case because you learn things from your past lives and then you move on to reincarnate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, because if we're doing it all at the same time, maybe this is the only life we've got, really, if you think about it like that.
Yeah.
But it's just we're living many of them, and we're living them all in a kind of a snake-like formation, maybe, that kind of wibbles off into different layers.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, yeah, as well as that, it kind of also ties in with the whole idea of, the Mayan calendar ends. There's an end date.
Mm-hmm.
And people have been like, oh, it's the end of the world or whatever. I think it's the end of time. That's what I think it is. Linear time is ending. And so all of these different lifetimes that we are in, or dimensions or whatever you want to call it, because we're multidimensional beings, we'll be able to access those lives a lot easier. They'll merge, basically. We will merge ourselves. Yeah. That's what I kind of feel is happening to me. Anyway.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people you've spoken to who've said something similar.
No one else actually.
Really?
It's just all of this is I don't know where it's come from, but it seems to have kind of occurred really, not just with me, but with my friends that I speak to about these things, a lot of us are feeling similar things from meetings we have with people, the way that we link in with different people, and feeling a really strong affinity with people that we don't hardly know and we've never met, but we recognise them, you know. You just gel straight away, and there's no way that you can say, oh yeah, put it down to personality types or whatever like that, but I think it goes deep. I think it does, and I think that the people that we're drawing to us now are people around us in our other lifetimes, and that's what is going on, I do feel. And it's quite confusing because all of those labels that we kind of have to define a relationship, you can't really apply them. Say, you know, for example, my daughter, well, say she's also my mother in another lifetime. I mean, I don't know if that's true. I was just, you know, so I'm just randomly saying. But say if she is, then, you know, the label becomes totally invalid. You can't sort of put that onto something which is more than what it is. If you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah, it sort of becomes a useless thing. The label's got to go. It's the connection that we have with people. That's the thing that we need to explore, you know, and really, you know, get into.
Well, a lot of, I mean, people like, for example, David Wilcock talk about ascension, and they talk about the fourth dimension and the fifth dimension, and literally the end of time as we know it. And I think, to give you an idea, if you haven't seen much of the stuff, come sort of 2012 time, you know, give or take, depending on who you are or what soul journey you've been on, you may ascend to another dimension where time obviously doesn't exist the way it does now. So that would fit in with what you just said as well.
Apart from, I have a huge problem with that word, ascension.
Yes, I know, it's a funny one.
It just bugs me. I'm more of a kind of, I don't know, I think more in terms of shamanic ways,
I know what you mean.
Ascension is so new agey.
It is very new age.
Connotations that you're going to kind of, you know, somehow evolve to be this high light being up in the clouds, and you know, you get an awful lot of spiritual snobbery, and you do round here where I live, you do, you know, and it's very much like, well, we're living in the fifth dimension now, you know, and you just think, get off it, you know.
Doesn't look like it from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable, really. I mean, you know, who is anyone to judge whether someone, how evolved another being is? It's ridiculous. So essentially it's kind of, you know, it's got too much religious connotations attached to it, that whole kind of thing. And plus I actually feel that, and I'm getting it increasingly more and more so, and I hope to God other people are who are listening, if they do listen to this, that you wake up and you go about your day and you still feel as if you're in a dream. Yeah, I know. And there's that dream-like quality to life. And I felt the other day, it was almost like, I dropped the kids off at school and everything. I still hadn't seen another person yet, you know, apart from the kids. And I was just about to take the dogs for a walk, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder what would happen then? Say if I did wake up in a dream, would anyone else be able to see me? Would I be like a ghost to them? Would I be like in another world? Is that what it's like to die? You know? Yeah. And I kind of got into this huge kind of like head trip. It would be a wonderful film to make, I think. That whole concept of like stepping into a dream, you know, and just my granddad, he died. He just didn't wake up. He went to sleep, and he just never woke up. But is life like that for my granddad? You know, it's that whole sort of concept. What is life? I mean, life is but a dream. They say that, don't they? And what is this dream? And are we all living the same dream? Exactly. And then there's the age-old quote, which is all the world's a stage, which is relevant for that as well. I mean, Michael Talbot wrote The Holographic Universe. Yeah, it's a good book. So that's something along those levels as well.